Alright, hopefully we're live. Let's see. Alright, yeah, we're live. Alright, hello everybody. It's Severe Storm Filmer here. We are doing another live stream. It's been a while since I've done a live stream. But we are doing a live stream tonight due to large hail producers across portions of western Oklahoma and northern Texas. And those will go into portions of southern Oklahoma and northern Texas through the rest of the evening. But that's not why we're making this video or making this live stream. This live stream is for the possibility of these supercells to all congeal into a big bow echo as it moves into portions of southern Oklahoma and northern Texas. And that's what the moderate risk is for here. The possibility of a derecho producing widespread, significant 80 to 110 mile per hour winds. So that's definitely something you guys really have to take seriously. Something you have to keep an eye on here is obviously also you have, like I said before, your significant damaging wind threat. But you also, like I said before, have to keep an eye on your hail threat over the next couple hours. It will likely peak as these storms continue to get going. These will likely, like Amarillo, those areas will likely have to watch out for the possibility there of some large hail producers. And eventually, as all these storms move down here, they're going to congeal into a big derecho or a big squall line. So definitely a lot to keep an eye on as we head in towards that time, as we head in towards the rest of this evening. Hopefully we're live. Let's see. Hopefully. Alright, hello everybody. It is Severe Storm Filmer here with another live stream. We are doing this live stream because we are watching a very, very big derecho potentially across portions of northern Texas as well as southern Oklahoma this evening. And it is obviously a big damaging wind threat. And we do have a moderate risk, or a level 4 out of 5 across this area. And that does include, Wichita Falls, Lawton, Oklahoma, and also the Dallas-Fort Worth region, all right? That is some big cities I'm naming out, all right? Lawton, Oklahoma, Wichita Falls, Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. Those are some major cities, so this is something you guys have to take seriously, all right? Storms are up here, and these are going to continue moving down here, but they're going to run into some really high instability rates. We have had well above what the models were predicting, all right? The models were predicting about 4,000, 5,000 joules per kilogram down here. Now it's actually 6,000 to 7,000 joules per kilogram. As these storms move into this region and congeal into a line, these are going to become severe very quickly. They're likely going to start producing damaging winds in excess of 70 miles an hour. And then once they get towards, Lawton, Oklahoma and Wichita Falls, Texas, in those areas, that's when they'll likely start producing the near 100 mile per hour winds and even upwards of 110 mile per hour winds. All right, you should definitely treat this like a hurricane when this moves into your area. All right, these are just pulse storms right now, so these aren't hurricane force yet. But once, like I said, this derecho develops, or this powerful squall line develops, you guys really have to treat this like it's a hurricane once it gets there, all right? Because it's going to get really windy. It's probably going to do lots of damage. So definitely a lot to keep an eye on if y'all live in this area. But for the people up here in northern Texas, let's take a look at what you guys are seeing right now. Obviously, you guys do have some severe thunderstorm warnings, like in the portions of Optima and Turpin, those areas, as well as Boise Key, or however you pronounce that, I don't know. Let's go to this radar site and see all these storms at once. All right, notice Optima, Torplin. You can see all these areas dealing with storms. All right, there's more developing right there, but you can see as we take a look at our velocity scans There are some decent hail cores across portions of Optima, Texas. And you notice here, you might think that is rotation. It is not, all right? It is a hail core because it is right inside of the reflectivity, all right? This is a big hail core right now across portions of Optima, Texas, and Guyman, Texas. All right, so if you take a look here at your vertically integrated liquid, normally once you get values, over, values of 77 kilograms, that's when you're talking about at least 2-inch hail or greater. All right, and you're dealing with that across this area. All right, we could easily be dealing with 2-inch hail at this moment in this forecast. All right, and we do have a tornado warning across portions of Boise City. All right, we forgot to take a look at those velocities. I feel bad doing that, but now let's take a look at their velocities. All right, Cape Hooks right there. We're going to try to take a look at the best station possible. It's not going to be a perfect because obviously there's no station like very close to it, but this is probably the best we're going to get. All right, let's take a look at our velocity scans. Not very strong rotation, but you notice here there is a little area right into here, and it's weak rotation, but there is still rotation. So definitely go into your safety places if you are in that area. There is actually a tornado on the ground, it says. They just went right off the bat and put it observed. That's definitely something to keep an eye on there if you live, in that area. And I mean, if you take a look here at this radar site, I mean, you can kind of still see the hook representation right there. You can kind of see the tornado right there. Across that area. Let's take a look here at our correlation coefficient because well, the radar's a little contaminated, but it'll help to diagnose where that is right into here. It's not a strong tornado. It's not even probably a major thing. It probably is just like, a F0, F1 tornado, something like that. But it is doing damage across the area, so definitely seek shelter immediately if you live in those areas. And notice as we head back over here, these are your big hail producers across portions of southern Oklahoma and northern Texas. This one's starting to get a little bit of a hook on it. We're going to have to take a look at that. This could be some weak rotation developing just west and southwest of Optima, Texas. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And over here, we also have this severe thunderstorm, which is very hard to define because we will likely have to go to a different radar site to get that. And you notice here there is also somewhat of some rotation across portions of western Turpin. So I would treat this like a tornado warning if I were you. So definitely, go into your safety spots if you feel like it's necessary. We also have more storms down here across portions of Texas. Across portions of Wellington, Estillene, Hollis, those areas right there, right in the moderate risk area, some severe thunderstorms getting going at this moment. All right, notice here we have 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1.5-inch hail right there. It's nothing crazy, but it is a severe thunderstorm, so if you're outside, make sure you go inside. And if you take a look over here, sorry guys, if you take a look over here at northern Oklahoma, we're likely going to get some good radars here, all right? Notice here Lambert, Tacoma, Cherokee, you guys are all under a severe thunderstorm warning at this moment, and I would not be surprised at all if we saw a tornado warning on one of these storms. All right, mainly because there is rotation somewhat. Well, I'm not going to lie, it's very hard to see, but I mean, if you travel, over here to Nusketunga or whatever there, or Wakita, you can see there is some bowing happening on the leading edge of that, and it's kind of continuing to bow out, and this is something to keep an eye on over the next couple hours. This could be the development of our derecho, all right? All these storms are going to be derecho potential, all right? And as we were looking at over here, the Optima storm got tornado warned, all right? As I mentioned before, there was a little area west of Optima, and I nailed it, all right? So let's take a look at that rotation. Again, it's not very strong. It's very subtle, but you can see there is a little area here just southwest of Optima, and it is a radar indicated this time, so it is not observed like this one. This one's still on the ground, so we're going to stay on this storm probably for the next few minutes so that we can get a good understanding of these areas. All right, let's take a look here. I'll make it easier. Let's take a look here at our our azimuthal shear. All right, your azimuthal shear basically shows where your rotation is in the atmosphere. And we have quite a bit in this tornado warning, all right? So this definitely proves there is some decent rotation. There is some weakening rotation, not enough to sustain, a strong tornado, of course. But over here, it's a bit on the stronger side, all right? It's not anything like over there, but I mean, you can see there is still some grays, there is still some yellows. So just take that with caution. And other storms we don't have much rotation with right now. There is a little area going south of Cherokee and north of Lambert that maybe could go tornado warned if it gets more energy with it, though I'm not too impressed with it right now. Wake Hometown, we have to watch this side right here of the storm that could go tornado warned for you. And there's just a lot of shear across these areas. And if you take a look here, just north of Vernon, Texas, I mean, you can see these storms have a lot of shear. I mean, you can see any of these could go tornado warned in the next couple minutes, all right? Any of these. I'm not saying they're all going to go tornado warned, but some of them will. And, I mean, especially this one right here, I mean, definitely a possibility, all right? Oh, I think it's picking up on some radar discrepancies. Never mind. Let's go back up here to our storms. You notice here Dodge City, Kansas. You notice here we got storms going. I'm just keeping an eye on any storm at this point. And notice here, we have gusty winds, some small hail, probably an isolated tornado threat. But down here, I think is the more robust area to watch for when you're talking about tornadoes.